All right, the first story of the day is about Donald Trump, President Trump. He weighed in at a press conference about the caravan that's coming to the United States, or multiple caravans. I don't even know anymore. I've talked about it in multiple live streams. I think it's funny that it's like a Scooby-Doo mystery where they're just traveling through Honduras and Guatemala and Mexico. And it's like in Mexico, they knocked down the border wall. Pretty strange stuff. I don't know why the Mexican authorities let that happen, but Trump kind of stirred the pot a little bit, or just basically told common sense and made people mad. I don't know at this point what to really call it, but he said basically he doesn't want them throwing rocks at military and police officers in the United States, and he said that if they do, we're going to treat it like a firearm. So he's basically calling for them to be shot. And then he said basically that he wants to cut the funding to certain Central American countries and countries that the caravan is traveling through, because he says, we give you guys a lot of money. What's the point if you're not even going to help us out a little bit? So first of all, I want to start. Somebody said in the comments before my live stream started, they said a rock is not a firearm. I think that's a very true statement. A rock is not a firearm. A firearm is more powerful. It's more dangerous. It's more violent. But here's my thing. I say this in Israel-Palestine all the time, and people get mad at me. They freak out. But I'm not even weighing in on the situation. I'm just telling you basic common sense. If somebody has a gun, if somebody's a police officer, if somebody's a military enforcer standing on the border of a country that you're not part of, you shouldn't throw a rock at them. I don't know why that's such a controversial thing. I say that, yes, a rock is not a gun. So if someone has a gun and you have a rock, don't throw a rock at somebody with a gun. I don't know. Call me crazy. Call me super right-wing. Call me an extremist for saying the basic common sense. Don't throw rocks at people with guns. I read these stories from Israel-Palestine, and people get mad at me all the time. I'm not weighing in the situation. I don't know who owns what. I don't know who's doing what. All I know is I read the mainstream media, and they say, Palestinian protesters are murdered by Israeli police officers. And then, and I'm not saying every story, I'm saying one specific story. Please don't take me out of context. I know people want to. And then I read the story and it says Palestinian protesters are throwing Molotov cocktails and rocks and storming towards the border, and then they got shot. And I say, hey, here's an idea. Don't throw rocks and Molotov cocktails at Israeli snipers with guns. And everyone says, anomaly, you're a Zionist. I didn't even weigh in on the situation. I'm just saying, even if you're a Palestinian activist, you need a better strategy if you want to retake Israel back for the Palestinians. You need a better strategy than throwing rocks at armed snipers. I'm sorry if that hurts your feelings, but that's just the truth. Don't throw rocks and Molotov cocktails at Israeli snipers. I'm sorry, left-wing activists. I know you don't want to hear that. You're like, we're going to keep throwing rocks and getting killed, and then I'm going to blame Anomaly for the whole movement. I'm just weighing in on what I know. I know nothing about Israel-Palestine. I've never been there. I don't know the history. I'm confused, but I'm sorry. That's my thought on the Israel-Palestine situation as far as throwing rocks. Let's bring it to Mexico, United States. Is a rock a gun? No, of course not. A gun is much stronger than a rock. But why would you be an illegal immigrant coming to a country that you're really not invited to? The president said don't come. And then you throw a rock at a police officer. I don't know. Do they have to shoot him? No. But if they do shoot him, am I going to say, oh my goodness, that was a rock and that was a gun. How dare you shoot a person trying to break into your country throwing rocks at you? To be honest, no, I don't know. I'm part of the grain. I don't like corrupt police officers. I think bad police officers who abuse their power need to be held accountable. But if there's police officers on the side of the street, there's 10 police officers blocking the street, and they say, don't come up here, I'm going to be like, okay. And I'm going to listen to them. I don't know. Call me crazy. I'm not going to be like, here's a rock, throw it at a police officer and expect not to get shot. I would expect to get shot if I don't know. Call me crazy. I would expect to get shot if I threw a rock at a police officer blocking a street. So I just don't know that it's different. I know they're gonna say Trump's so mean, he's such a bad person, but it's just basic common sense. Don't throw stones if you live in a glass house. Don't throw stones if you're not invited to the country and there's military on the border. Don't throw rocks. I don't know. Is it that hard? It's like, this is the big thing that really annoys me with society, and especially far leftism, but it happens on the right too. is there's no self-accountability and no self-responsibility. And we're not going to be able to solve any of the world's complex problems unless we hold everybody accountable. We have to hold America accountable. We have to hold Mexico accountable. We have to hold illegal immigrants accountable. We have to hold citizens accountable. We have to hold Saudi Arabia and Israel accountable. But we also have to hold Palestine accountable. We have to hold these people. Everyone needs to be accountable. It's not like blame these people accept no blame, and anything they do, they're the victims. Oh my God, they got shot because they threw a rock. Stop throwing rocks at police officers and military people. I don't know. Is that really that controversial to say? And I know Trump said it, and they're like, well, it's not a rock. It's not a firearm. It's a rock. Yeah, but he said he's going to treat it like a firearm because you shouldn't be throwing rocks at police officers. And when it comes to what's going on, as far as he said he hinted maybe cutting the funding to Mexico and Guatemala and Honduras in certain ways, I think that's a good strategy as well. I mean, if you're going to pay someone and do work with a country and they can't even do you the favor of stopping caravans from breaking into their country, then are they really your friend? Are they really working with you? Or are they purposely letting people in? I saw the video of the Mexican border. There's literally and these people are not even from Mexico. They're breaking into Mexico. They're smashing on the border. They're throwing rocks at police. There's certain illegals that are setting immigrant facilities on fire. Literally, no one wants to report on it, but Mexican news did. They set an immigrant facility on fire that had 14 immigrants in it. And Mexico just lets them in? You're just going to let someone smash down the wall on your country? Once again, I said it 20 times. I'm going to say it 21. Call me crazy, but don't let people smash down your walls. Is that really that weird? If I have an apartment complex and someone smashes down the door of my apartment complex, I'm not going to be like, well, they really need to stay. They need a place to stay, so that's okay. No, I think they should probably be held accountable. If I smashed a wall down or a door down, they would arrest me. So why would someone get more privileges than a citizen when they're not even citizens? That's the thing that weirds me out about this whole illegal immigrant situation. I have no problem with illegal immigrants. I've worked with illegal immigrants, and I have to say I like a lot of the illegal immigrants I worked with more than I like citizens. I find them much more grateful. I find them much more hardworking and respectful, and I find a lot of citizens very privileged and very ungrateful and very annoying, very obnoxious. But I never understood how it's like Trump won, and he says all stuff, and then it's Obama and Hillary. First of all, Obama, who deported more citizens than Trump did so far, and Obama, who deported more illegal immigrants than any U.S. president in United States history until this point, he comes out and he's like, oh, Trump doesn't like illegals? Well, we like illegals more than citizens. I don't care if you like illegal immigrants. I personally, respect every person on planet Earth. But I can't imagine a country that actually gives more rights, more freedoms, more tax breaks, more free healthcare and stuff to illegal immigrants than they do their own citizens. What a slap in the face. You know who's more upset than me? I don't really care, because to me, this is just a political circus. And I'm just watching, eating popcorn, cracking up, having a good time now, and making videos for a living. I can't lie, my life is okay. But you know who's really upset by what's going on by the liberals, who are giving more freedoms and more attention to illegals than immigrants? It's the millions of Mexicans, it's the millions of Guatemalans, it's the millions of Hondurans and El Salvadorians who are in El Salvadorians. I think I made that up, Salvadorians, whatever. They're more mad than me. People hit me up all the time. I'm from Honduras. I'm from Mexico. I'm from South America. I'm from Brazil. They're upset. I'm chilling. Like I said, I'm just watching the circus unroll. But they're like, this is the process I took to get to this country. My friend from Pakistan, he's like, dude, it took me 10 years to get here. And then it's kind of a slap in the face to people who had to pay and wait to just prioritize illegal immigrants. They're more mad than me. It's the immigrants that they and it's also strange to me, I've said this multiple times, but how they've made illegal immigrant a synonym for immigrant. If you have an opinion about illegal immigrant or illegal alien, or like I said, make up your own term. If those hurt your feelings, make up a whole new term that you make up yourself. You can call them flower buddies. You can call them flower buddies from the South if that makes you feel better. Whatever you want to say, make up a term to say a citizen versus someone who's not a citizen. Make up your own, and then use them differently. Don't be like, oh, you don't like all immigrants. America was built on immigrants. Totally. My grandparents came from Europe and Puerto Rico and worked in factories, and here I am. I'm not anti-immigrant. I'm just it's so confusing. So overall, I think Trump's totally right about all of it. I have no idea how this caravan got through to Mexico. How are you not going to protect your own wall? If you have a house and you just let someone smash in your window, you're like, oh, well, they're hungry, so let's just let them break my window down. Now they can come in since they did it. No citizen can do that. If you're a United States citizen and you go to the border wall and you smash through the border wall of Mexico or America, that you can't do that as a citizen. So why in the world would you be able to do it as an illegal? This is just pure weakness. I don't care what your stance is on legal immigration or illegal immigration. I don't care what your stance is on politics. This is pure weakness. This is pure foolishness. This is absolute buffoonery and circusry of the highest order. And I mean, I don't know that there's anything on the left anymore politically that strikes me as common sense or normal. Every single thing is like, well, we gotta let them do that. So overall, don't throw stones if you live in a glass house. Don't throw stones if you're breaking into a country and you're facing military people. Don't throw stones at police officers. Don't throw stones at anybody, pretty much. Don't throw Molotov cocktails at anybody. Don't burn down immigrant facilities, and don't shoot at Mexican police. I'm sorry that that's somehow a controversial statement in 2018. The next story of the day